It's not because I'm a Trump supporter that I don't believe Christine Ford. It has to do with me being a victim and listening to other victims.
Do you think that there's anybody that would say that you know, some of the supporters who support Trump and are now behind Brett Kavanaugh, who don't believe Christine Blasey Ford, for example, but believe Paula Jones, do you think that they could make the same argument, and what do you say to those people?
It's not because I'm a Trump supporter that I don't believe Christine Ford. That really has nothing to do with it. It has to do with me being a victim and listening to other victims. I get messages every day on the internet, hundreds of people who are victims. And this just doesn't ring clear. It's not what you would think that a victim statement would be. It's just too sketchy and vague.
So why do you think she's coming forward and saying that Brett Kavanaugh did this to her?
I have no idea. Why did Senator Feinstein hold it since July? What was the purpose? If someone wanted to come forward, gosh, let them come forward. Let them tell what happened. But you don't take that and hold it until the 11th hour if it's that important to be heard.
Christine Blasey Ford's allegations, there are some holes in her memory, and a lot of the other accusers say that there are things that they don't remember about that night. What do you make of some of the holes in their memory, considering, you know, as a survivor, you do have a vivid memory of what happened?
Yeah, I can't imagine if it was as frightening as she says that it was, and that she feared for her life. I can't imagine not knowing and remembering more about it, or not telling someone.
In the past, one of Blasey Ford's attorneys, Katz, you know, in the 90s when Paula Jones came out against Bill Clinton and accused him of sexual assault, Katz went on to say that, you know, her allegations were, quote, weak at the time. So she did not believe Paula Jones in that instant. Why do you think she believes Christine Blasey Ford but didn't believe Paula Jones?
Because of her political affiliation. And that's what's sad about this, that she's a very much of a supporter of Hillary Clinton. She hates President Trump, and this was just a way for her to come forward and help Hillary Clinton.
Talking a little bit about the Me Too movement, what do you believe should be the due process? You know, it's very hard to reconcile innocent before proven guilty along with women who should be believed if they're making an accusation. So how do we reconcile the two to be fair to both sides?
Well, when you say Me Too, I'm not very I'm not very pro Me Too. The Me Too movement to me is for liberal women. They want nothing to do with the Clinton victims.
What do you think it's going to take to make room for conservative
women? I think
women?
Me Too's on its way out. You know, I think that it was just a flash in the pan.
Why do you think that Me Too's on its way out? What do you think is going to put the nail in the coffin on Me Too?
I'm thinking this because you have these very Hollywood elite show up on the front of Time magazine, but yet you never have anybody bring in all the millions of men and women that said, Me Too, Me Too.
So how do we know? You know, in some of these situations, people are coming out 30, 35 years later. There really is no more proof left. So what do we turn to? It's a he said, she said battle. How do we know who's telling the truth?
Oh, I think that's the biggest question of the year right now. I don't think anybody knows how we're going to handle this.
Why do you think Kavanaugh is more believable, if he is, than Bill Clinton?
Because Kavanaugh doesn't have a record of it. Bill Clinton is a known sexual assaulter and womanizer. I don't think there's any beginning to be comparison in Brett Kavanaugh and Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton put me through the most horrible event of my life.
How vividly do you remember your encounter with Bill Clinton?
Oh, I remember everything about it. And then I have the lady that I was traveling with. She was my director of nursing. We're both RNs. And when I didn't show up for the seminar that we had gone to Little Rock to be at, she comes back to the room and finds me with torn clothing, with a bloodied lip, with my lip swollen about 3 times the normal size, and absolutely devastated and in shock.
So do you believe that Brett Kavanaugh is innocent, that he didn't do anything to any of these women?
Yes, I do. A sexual predator and a man that does the things that these women say that he has done, you would have many more accounts. They don't just do this 36 years ago and then never do anything again. And the very good example I have of that is Bill Clinton.